Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another video on this YouTube channel. Happy November, 2nd November, birthday month video in a row. Okay. Today I had a few different things in my notes. I'm like, should I tell this other funny, lighthearted story time? Or I'm like, should I do this podcast episode on like some recent feelings and topics? And then this one just popped in my head because y'all, I swear, sometimes the discourse on my smaller platforms that you should go follow, linked in my bio, my TikTok and my Instagram conversations. Obviously, I take inspiration from platforms and what's going on in the world, but I'll make these videos and like I'll have discourse and comments and stuff like that. And then I'm like, I should just make a long form content on this because why not? I literally made 3 short form videos about this topic in the concept of a week, just pulling from other women's videos that are clocking it and just like discourse on TikTok. And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah. Let me just make this. At this moment, do I know what I'm gonna call it? I don't know. But I'm gonna just start with what I said in the video. The people who already follow me on the other platforms, y'all know this is just gonna be a longer, bigger, better conversation. So I made a video and I said how I do not feel like I owe respect to cultures, to religions, especially cultures heavily influenced by certain religions. That I don't owe things like that respect that treat women like complete. Like I really don't. Like at this point in my life, I really don't. If I feel like this is a hot take, but you know, when it comes to some cultures and especially a lot of cultures heavily influenced by religion, when I would hear growing up like, oh, that's just the way things are in that country, or that's just how they are, that's just what they do. I truly feel like I owe no respect to cultures that disrespect the fuck out of women. Y'all already know. Don't even get me started on the Abrahamic religions. But when it's like, oh, she has to do this, or she can't do this, or she can't do this till she's married, or she has to wear and cover up this. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Tell me to respect that shit when the men are walking around just as covered. Oh, why doesn't he look like that? Why doesn't he have to wait like that? Like the fuck? I truly don't give. I feel like that's just the way things are. That's just how it is. Has never got us anywhere in history. Like I actually don't give a fuck that that's just how women are supposed to behave in that country or that culture or religion. How about fuck you guys? Literally, you can try to get my respect, like I said, when everything is 10 toes down and the men are supposed to act like that too. The fuck out of my face. If you're new here, I'm an atheist, agnostic person. I grew up Christian, don't have religious trauma. It just wasn't for me. I say atheist agnostic because I don't believe in organized religion and stuff like that, but I guess I do take from certain little things that I just don't completely believe in, like nothing, but whatever. That's my background. So yeah, I really feel like I just grew up like looking at how certain countries treat women, looking at how certain religions treat women and what women have to do in the religion to stay pure and covered up and stuff like that. But the men don't got to do but sit there and smile and be stupid. Like I just remember like going like seeing these things growing up, and like of course, you know, the everybody's favorite comment is like respect people's cultures, respect everybody. And like, you know, when I would think like, is this fair? Like it's like to me when people are just like that's just how it is in that country, that's just how it is for those people, that's just the way it is. I've been like, well, I don't give a fuck because literally it's so strange. I don't care that it's more common, like I'm an American, obviously, that it's more common in other countries, or like it's like to me, given that that's just how things are, just gives like it's none of your concern. It's none of your concern. And I said in the video too, I was like saying that that's just how things are has never gotten us anywhere in history, especially for my ancestors, baby. Imagine if they were just sitting on those plantations and were like, well, that's just the way things are. If they were still being treated like and not being able to be in spaces that they deserve in and having to create HBCUs and just deal with a bunch of bull, like, and we just said, well, that's just how things are, then I would be living the exact same life as my ancestors, but on the contrary, I'm my ancestors' wildest dream because of what they did and not submitting to the that's just how things are. Okay, how to hit deep real quick. I truly do not care if I'm not a part, if I don't choose to be a part of a religion, or if I'm not part of a culture that means I just shouldn't care about the harm that is being done to women. I care, like I said, not part of the religion, not part of certain cultures, but I care because I care about people. I think that's like a crazy idea to a lot of people. Like that's just I feel like I've literally gotten comments on like that before. Like, when it comes to how outspoken I am about homophobia and protecting my queer folks, like why do you care so much if you're straight? Because I care about people and I think homophobia is stupid. What do you mean? I care because I care. Another point I was making in these series of videos is how I'm clearly not attacking women who are brainwashed into thinking, I have to do this, I have to dress like this, I have to blah, 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 because that's how I get a husband, or that's what makes me good, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm attacking the system because we know everything starts with a man, okay? We know everything starts with a man. And so I had gotten this one comment of this girl when I responded to a man who commented on my video. He's talking about maybe you could learn something from these women, like what are you talking about, like blah 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 blah, being misogynistic about my point. Shocker. Men are mad when I hit the patriarchy right in the stomach. Of course they're mad. So I go to this bitch's page. This man is shirtless in hella videos. Why is speaking to me with his pulls out? Why are you doing that? And slut? Like what? So I made a video clowning him, like joking. That was one of my follow-ups. And then this girl had the nerve to comment and she was like, I don't care that he's shirtless. He's right. Like girls like you think that you guys are so feminist and blah blah. Like you think that men get they get sad when they see your out and they see you dressing like that. Like you think that makes them sad. Like you guys are the real ones contributing to the patriarchy and my husband this and my blah blah. I checked the page and it's a Muslim woman who dresses in the hijab, all that, right? And I literally broke it down. How they say people, how I'm attacking this bitch because she opened her mouth. But how when I talk about these cultures, how I say I'm not attacking the women who are brainwashed into this stuff, I'm attacking the system. She felt attacked. But people be like, oh, well, like some, like, who says they're brainwashed? Like, they just like to be like that and they like to blah, blah, blah. This girl literally just said that she didn't care that the man was shirtless. He's right. And then she was attacking me for dressing when I was like, I don't even really got any slip pictures on my page yet. Girl, go yourself. And as a triple follow up to the video I made about how I don't feel like I owe religions or cultures respect that disrespect the fuck out of women and are contradictory as fuck and are one sided as fuck when it comes to what women can do and blah blah blah, I literally had a bitch in my comments that proved my point. When I talk about these things, I'm always attacking the system and the misogyny and patriarchy of it all. I'm not attacking the women that are brainwashed into thinking they need this life and they need to do all these things to be worthy. And I was making fun of a guy who I clicked on his page and he was shirtless, who had something to say about me, talking about I could learn something from these women who value their body and cover up or whatever. The whole time this nigga's shirtless with his nipples out. So I was calling him whores and sluts and all these kinds of things. And this girl in the comments gonna agree, who's Muslim, she had a hijab and stuff, talking about, I don't care that he's shirtless, he's right. You could learn something from someone like me. You think having your body out and your boobs out makes men sad? Like, you're the one really contributing to the... Mind you, I made that video literally in a jacket. But this is what I mean when people are like, oh, that's just the way things are. Nothing's wrong. Those women aren't brainwashed. The bitch just said she doesn't care that the man had his nipples out and was shirtless. But she's attacking me for dressing like a whore when I don't even have any slutty pictures on my page yet. Like, girl, go to hell if I believed in that stuff. Free all my sisters that think that patriarchy will benefit them as long as they stay submissive to it. And attack other women who say, fuck that shit. For you. Like, I was like, that is correct. That is crazy. She literally, like, comments like that prove my exact point. Oh, they're not brainwashed. She just said she doesn't care she doesn't care about a man dressing like that and being shirtless, but she cares and she criticizes women who do that. And you call that not being brainwashed? And someone literally clocked the hell out of her in my comment section where she was saying, like, women who speak and treat other women like this will literally call you out for how you choose to dress or the freedom you take for yourself and say that you're contributing. But it's like, and you do things for the male gaze. Like I said, because by her talking about me dressing and having my boobs out, when mind you, I made that video in a full zipped up jacket, thinking that I do things for male attention or for the male gaze. And she's like, literally, how she's explaining, oh, you could learn something from me. Like, I do something like that. You're the one. Da, da, da. You are covering up and dressing how you dress because of what men think. Shocker, shocker. And even if it doesn't come directly from a man, which I know majority of the time it does, it comes from other bird brain women who think like you and have to say about how other women dress. Like my whole thing about like women, feminism, deconstructing the patriarchy is I want women to have a choice. I want them to have a choice not to be brainwashed into this is how I have to be pure and to get a husband and all that. I personally think I'm not someone who necessarily dresses feet, but hey, every 6 months when I go to the club, hell yeah. And if I wanted to, hell yeah. Like the only reason I necessarily feel like I don't is because I'm a very comfort over style person. So sometimes like the crop tops and like the highs, it's just not comfortable. It's like for every once in a while. But I don't give I'll cover all the way up one day and dress as hell the next day if I want to. And that's just what I want for every woman, not to think like, oh, this is how I grow up and this is how I just should or blah blah. Like this whole damn fucking Halloween conversation. I know y'all seen that where they're like, some girls were like, me staying in on Halloween because I don't ever want my future husband to look back and see me dressed like that in my single days. Girl, go fuck yourself. Because again, I just hate to see it. Why are we saying you're doing this? You're doing this, you're avoiding this, you're doing this, or you're not doing this because of what you think a future man will think, because of what you think a man right now will think. Who gives, like, actually? And I just feel like I'm the perfect, like, candidate for this conversation. I'm just like, Miss hasn't gave up her whole life, bro. For context, I'm a Scorpio woman. I'm the middle child and I'm the youngest girl. I'm the little sister. What y'all know about the mean little sisters? So it's like when I see comments like the girl talking about me and how I could learn something from her and how she doesn't care that the man is shirtless, but shame on me for thinking this way and having the option to dress like a if I want to. And then the girls talking about these damn Halloween fits. It's just like I remember like a girl, I think it's in my TikTok repost, she broke it down in like her opening sentence where she was like, misogyny and patriarchy still doesn't benefit you as a woman even if you submit to it. Like that's what girls who say stuff and they talk about other women and they talk about how they dress, that's what they think. Oh, men like this, men like when we cover up, and men like girls who don't do this, and men like girls who don't do that. Just because you submit and think that you're being the me ass bitch, that I'm doing everything right, so I am gonna be the one in the end with the man and blah blah blah. Do you know that a lot of men are not? First of all, men change their minds all the time. Y'all ever heard those stories where girls who said they were like that, I did this and that, and then 10 years into the marriage, he cheated on someone who's a complete opposite of me, who doesn't do this, who dresses like this. That's why we never base our worth and what we should do on their opinions. First of all, opinions change, and who gives a about their opinion? Literally, literally. Second of all men aren't the same. Like I seen men, not that we're giving their opinion weight, but I've seen men literally combat the videos of the girl talking about the Halloween costume too. Like me going out with my girl dressed like that, cause period, who gonna check her when she's with me? Like not everyone likes the same thing. Like I feel like a lot of time when women are describing this, like men don't like girls who do this, you're describing a conservative man. That's something I never want to touch. That's something I never want to touch. But third and most important of all is, like I said, why are you basing your life choices and decisions off a man or a system made by man? No, that's the real tea. You know, I make videos like this and I talk about things like this because I also always want to reiterate, especially to the ladies on my page, just because I speak like this and I'm so outspoken doesn't mean I was never a subject of misogyny and patriarchy too. Like, I remember being in younger relationships, and I don't think I've ever necessarily thought as like the whole male gaze is like, what would they think? But you know, when you're in relationships and when you're in love with people, you do tend to like idolize what they like. I have definitely been in relationships where I'm like, I didn't do something, or I held back on a part of like comments and stuff I wanted to say because I'm just like, oh, I think they wouldn't like that, and I think like this would make me more likable. I think every single girl on the planet has been a victim to this because hello, it's all around us. It's all around us. I think I want to say like I feel like the patriarchy is really in like every single culture, but I mean it is to this day. But I was even gonna say, we also have knowledge that a lot of the patriarchy came from colonization. So not all cultures were created equal. There are plenty of, especially indigenous cultures, that were not so misogynistic and homophobic and all this pre-colonial values. And I refuse to let my mind be colonized either. Like I said, I'm not living my ancestors' wildest dreams for nothing. Ho. Like what? Shout out to the ancestors for real. And if you're one of those people who thinks your ancestors is demonic, fuck out. Get out. Actually, because like I said, for anyone really, but especially other women of color, like I said, knowing how much worse I feel like the misogyny and all that used to be before, like I'm literally gonna keep living their wildest dreams, and what? Like all that pain and suffering was literally so I could have this life. And America still has a very long way to go, but like I'm so proud that I have this life and all that because of their fight. Like what? Proud black American girl, proud of my ancestors who came here and worked up. I literally got family in the Bay Area. Shout out to the Black Panthers. But yeah, whoever you are, but I feel like especially women and women of color, I've came way too far to shut up. Like actually, and that's the end of it. And that's the end of it. I've came way too far. But I also do know that, like I said, when it comes to these cultures, or even people who weren't heavily raised in these like religions and cultures, just how the world is. I also think like the upbringing I had really speaks to who I am as a person too. Cuz I think my mom is very outspoken and does what she wants, and she had a loving supporting husband who supports her through every step, and my dad has never said anything homophobic. He's never said anything misogynistic. He's never said what are you wearing? Like I grew up with parents who are just that, who are just really like that. So I feel like naturally I'm just, but I realize that not everyone grew up to be like to have a voice and to use it and to be so fearless. So that's why I say when I speak on topics like this, I'm not coming for the women who still have a long way to go. Actually, I am coming for some of them like that left that comment. Cause girl, but yeah, I think when it comes to anything, the more you grow up and get older, we all have a lot of unlearning to do. But a lot of y'all need to unlearn it faster for me. Immediately. A lot of y'all are being a little too slow for me. Cause seriously, like like I said, being raised in such a girl power, girl boss type of household, it just amazes me when I see women on the internet who still conform to these ideologies of you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that, like, and you ask them why, and it's because of what someone else thinks, what a man thinks, or because of their religion. Y'all don't even get me started on that. Like I said, I literally reposted this thing the other day where I was like, if I try to argue with you on politics or something like that, and your reasoning is because of because of your you immediately lost. Use your brain. Use your brain, baby. What do you think? What do you think outside of all that? Yeah, the ones who get it. And I just truly want to leave like anyone who supports the girls, but especially for women and young women. Let me check my age demographic. How old are y'all? Comment in the comments how old you are. Um, that yeah, like trying to submit or do everything right and submit to the patriarchy will still not get you picked, babe. It's ever changing. And think about who you really want to be picked by, right? Like I said, I'm no anomaly. I've been subject to parts of it before, like I said, when I'm in relationships. But I feel like that is the whole point, and like what people who really inspire me, like if y'all know my girls like Draw Follow and people like that, how she's a very outspoken feminist. She's always eating men up. She does what she wants, and she got a fiance and all that. And I remember she made this video when she got engaged, and she was really saying women are always asking these questions like, how do you do this and how do you do that, but I'm trying so hard, blah blah. And she's literally like, I got in this situation with this perfect man who is also a feminist, who rides for me, who supports every dream, who would never play all that. She's like, by literally being myself. Like, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Don't be what people want you to be. Like I said, it's like even though I know a lot of times, sometimes I can get subject to that. Again, when you're in relationships, when you're in love, seriously, like I'm going to do whatever I want. Especially, I hate when a man tries to get at me on social media and thinks sweet, like they don't see my videos and how I talk every day. Like what? I kind of love that. I feel like my social media is like a plaster of like this is what it is. Cause seriously, um, I'm gonna dress how I want. I'm gonna talk how I want. Um, I'm gonna do all that, and like it's so crazy, like how misogynistic men, like girls like me, will talk about that, and they'll be like, "That's why you never got a man." Like I remember I literally made a video the other day on how um, I feel like sometimes super family centered grown men kind of rub me the wrong way, because I was just saying how like this, like the second date, this guy was like, "You want to come like to my little brother's soccer game?" I was like, "No, I don't." Like, why do I hadn't even met him yet? And this man gonna be like, "If you took up that date offer, maybe you wouldn't be talking to a screen." Oh my god, you're so right. You're so right. I should have took up that date. You. Why would I do anything I'm uncomfortable with just to get a man? There's tons of them. There's tons. It's always just like that too. When you go to their page, you can't see what they look like. All he was posting was his dog and an arm. Oh, okay. I just felt like this should be a longer conversation because the patriarchy, and like I said, I'm gonna stay attacking the systems, but the women who want to keep it up too. Like I said, it's about a choice. Girl, if you want to cover up to your fucking eyeballs, do that because you want to and that's how you're comfortable. Okay? If you want to dress in a thong, do that. Like what? I hate it because men like this, or because I heard girls. But yeah, as always, you guys know where I stand. Also, shout out to the recent news today. Y'all ain't taking gay marriage away. Y'all who tried, babe. Like this country is really pissing me off. It's really pissing me off, y'all. If you voted for the orange man, get the fuck out. I'm not joking. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me yap again. I feel like this is a much needed conversation. I hope you took something from this, you learned something, or you just feel heard, seen, because that's the only type of people I attract on this page. Babe, okay? And like I said, the men can stay here if you're going to agree with me. If not, the door. Thank you guys so much for listening to another podcast episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Socials linked down below. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.